Ladies and gentlemen, we're here in the New York City office of So Far Sounds, where tonight we're going to see 3 incredible performances by independent artists that are going to be performing in this space. So without further ado, please enjoy So Far Sounds. My name is Adam Voss. I'm a traveler, an entertainer, and I'm a marketing geek on the hunt for cool brands. I've got less than 12 minutes to tell you about their story. This is 12 for 12.
Welcome to So Far Sounds. My name's Jacqueline. So Far was started by a couple guys in London in 2009, and they were tired of going to concerts where people were not paying attention to the music. So they decided to have a show in their living room, and it went really well. So well that they now do it in over 400 cities around the world. Yeah, okay, so that's all I'm gonna do to talk right now. I'm gonna let you listen to some good music. This is the Atones. Woo.
Traveling through a foreign land, looking to find my baby again.
It's just fun to like be an entertainer in such an intimate setting where you know everyone's listening, and if you can nail it right with the right music and the right material, the right songs, and then the right interaction, it is like a very intimate and fun thing.
A friend of mine kept going to these shows over and over and over again and would always hit me up. He's like, yo, you gotta come to this show. And I'm like, so where is it? And they're like, I don't know yet. And I'm like, oh, okay, who's playing? They're like, nobody knows. So we go, elevator lets out to this brick room, and then there's just like 80 people sitting on the floor, having a glass of wine, chatting, and the show starts. And there's no phones out, and nobody's talking. And I feel like I'm in an episode of The Twilight Zone or something like that.
And I know I'm not that easy to forgive. Whoa, break it down.
So Far is magic, it's trust, and it's community. It's really about creating a moment in time, a space, a time, and an emotion that's attached to it.
So Far Sounds is a live music company. We are curating secret, intimate events. You can go and see music wherever you would not necessarily expect to see it. And we put a heavy emphasis on focusing on and supporting emerging artists around the world.
What does So Far stand for?
Songs from a room.
Okay, and it can be any room, right?
Any room.
Any room that you would not expect
Oh.
a concert to be.
Oh, I've apologized over and over, but gotta save my breath when you got it in your head that I did something wrong.
We want to keep these small. We want to keep them where the artist is front and center and they feel like they've got a space where they can share their music, making it comfortable and a respectful environment for them to play and hone in on their craft a bit.
The idea of having a safe space for the artist and audience alike goes back to the founding principles of So Far Sounds. Feeling cozy in my safe space, it was time for an intimate video chat with So Far co-founder Rafe Offer. So Rafe, let's talk about So Far. How did So Far get started?
It was born out of excitement for music and a little dose of frustration. I was at a gig with 2 friends, and there was this moment where all 3 of us realized at the same time that everything was wrong with the live music experience. People were talking, people were texting, the bar was open, you could hear the clanging of the bottles. It was so loud, you could barely hear this already loud band. And we kind of said, well, what's wrong with this picture? When you go to a movie, so many other forms of culture, people are quiet or at least respectful. But when there's a live gig and I'm a fan and I can't hear the music and something's a bit amiss, so that was the moment where we said we've got to try to do something about this. And that something was going to my house and just telling everyone to be quiet and just listen and put everything down, including their phones, and be in the moment.
I need her. I want her right now. Ooh.
Was there an aha moment when you and your friends said, hey, we're on to something, let's continue to do this?
The aha moment was the third one we ever did, when there was a line down the block and we hadn't told anybody.
As they were hosting more and more in London, they decided not to share the location because one time in Regent's Park at a show, they had a line around the corner. So they had to start to hide the location. And as we scaled up and new cities were onboarding, it was something that just kind of stuck, and it adds a little bit of fun to the experience.
So the secrecy is also with regard to who's playing. So when you go online, you say, I want to see a show, you don't know who you're buying a ticket
Right.
for.
So when you apply on our website to come to a show, you can pick out what neighborhood you would like to go see the show at, but you don't actually get the exact address until about a day before the show. And then you don't find out who's playing until you get there.
What do you think about, like, they don't really advertise A, the venue, B, the performers until day of?
I felt confident. I felt like
they're not going to be shitty.
I had faith that it was going to be solid. No matter what kind of music, I felt like it was going to be good.
Yeah.
This is what I'm about.
Love, love, reaching love.
I'm in love. 3 different musicians, 3 different types of music, and I'm in love with all of them.
How do you curate the artists that actually come and play?
Artists can apply on our website to play a Sofar. They submit some music to us, and we have global reviewing teams that listen to every submission that we get. And then in each city where we operate full time, we have people who are booking those artists into shows.
I wish that I could tell you that I know how to love you, but I don't even know how to love myself. No, I never made it easy. No love is ever easy. The truth is I can't love somebody else till I learn how to love myself.
Sofar is just something that people are very proud to say they're a part of. And you don't see that with a lot of like organizations.
So, I mean, it's really a community-driven thing.
A lot of Sofar employees actually come from within the community. I volunteered for like 2 to 3 months before.
Can you guys sing that with us? Hey. Ooh.
It's a network of these local communities, and community in the truest sense of the word. Like, the artists hang out with the ambassadors, hang out with the employees, hang out with the people that host. It's a true connected community of people.
And in this day and age where everyone lives on their phones and the internet and streaming, and you see the major tours on Instagram stories before you even go to the concert, what we're doing is we're creating a space and a time and a memory that's detached from all that, and you have to be there.
It's funny now, like, going to see like a Jack White show, it's like, there's even a thing where you have to lock up your phone.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
what have we come to?
Right. It's an addiction. It's a pandemic.
So much of what we're doing, even this conversation, is mediated by technology. How much do you think the success of Sofar plays into that real in-person experience?
I think it's a huge amount of it. We're all human, and we do need to shut off occasionally. And Sofar, without saying you must not even touch your phone, we imply it, that just, take a picture, grab some footage quickly, but it's not about the phone. It's about the person in front of you singing or the person next to you. And I think that these experiences are now coming back with a vengeance.
Don't you try to change my mind. Don't you start to cry.
Sofar is a whole nother thing. And that's why we love it so much. The crowd is always so welcoming and gracious, and just, you could hear a pin drop.
And as an artist, it's what you crave. You
Yes.
crave a captivated audience who is hanging on every note, and after every song finishes, the enthusiastic applause. And for us, it's the best place to play it. If we could only play Sofar shows, we would.
So the artists get paid, and the hosts volunteer their venues, their homes, their businesses. It can't be solely ticket sales for the size,
Yeah, so we're lucky to be backed by a great group of investors, and then we also embark on a lot of brand partnerships.
We want to work with partners that are really about how do we make this even better than if we did it ourselves. The last thing we want you to be as a brand is somebody that walked into our space and everybody says, you know what, Sofar was really cool till X brand destroyed it. While my role is to figure out how we sell this stuff, it's also to protect it, right? So it's a very unique situation where it's always about finding like, what are those really interesting things that we can do with brand partners that stays, you know, not just stays true to what we do, but like takes it to another level.
Yeah. My experience with Sofar went so far beyond my expectations. I left with the feeling that I was now part of this global community, and maybe one day I too could perform a few tunes from my catalog of brand-based love songs.
Baby, baby, please don't leave me now. Don't you go. I said now, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl. Don't you go. We got it. I think we got it. So far, so far, so far.